Alright, what's up everybody? It's GMrDrew doing a little watercolor painting. I recorded the other day and I had obviously you can see I already started watercolor painting, and well, I was recording it, but then I got distracted, a friend came over, this happened, that happened, next thing I know it was like 30 minutes of like non-activity in the video. So even though I kind of painted, I got the yellows in, I'm starting with the oranges now. So yeah, even though that happened, I'm kind of had to not post that video just because of all the inactivity in it. So that one got lost. Just cut it as a video loss. At least I was productive enough to actually get some work done. And all I'm doing now is laying down some orange watercolors. Again, these are just base colors for future mediums like markers or pencils, whatever I end up using. So they're not going to be too vibrant or anything like that. I'm not going all out. One day, and I'm not just saying one day like, oh, one day I'll do it. Like, I'm fine with not doing it that, you know, going all out with these paints just yet. I'm alright just you know, keeping a low key for now. Until I get better with it and start to develop something and actually get good at it, you know. Alright. Yeah, so I'm kind of, right now this koi fish looks like a goldfish. I just, like I said, I've only done the yellow and the oranges for now. I'll end up eventually going with a red over it, and maybe even some black in some areas. Who knows? What I like about using these watercolors is the layering effect that you're able to do. The thinness you can capture. I mean, the opacity, the opaqueness that you can capture. And I work with a lot of water, and mine's very diluted and things like that, so I could always, so not every brush stroke is like final, you know. I could just add a little bit water to my brush and spread out the color a little bit more, or add to it if I wanted. Yeah, this thing's looking like a goldfish. If you if you watched my Michelangelo videos that I had done, I don't know, it would have been like a couple weeks ago or something like that. The reason why I'm laying down yellow and orange before I get to the reds is because by the time I get to the red and I like start using color pencils over these scales and everything like that and really bring out that color, the orange and the yellow are going to make that red so much more vibrant and really bring that color to life. So instead of painting red over a white sheet of paper and getting this, depending on how much red, like eventually it'll be really red, but getting like this pinkish to red hue depending on the depending on how hardcore I lay down those colors. Doing it this way, that yellow and orange is really going to make that red pop and bring some life to the color. So that's all I'm really doing here, is I'm preparing for the red. I'm not really painting this fish yellow and orange for the sake of it being yellow and orange. I'm painting it for the sake of when I make it red, that red's gonna just jump out. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I get to it. It won't be in this video. It'll probably maybe sometime this week. I don't know. My postings have, you know, it's been pretty dodgy lately at best. I'm only happy that I could actually get something out. You know, I jump on I was on DeviantArt today looking at some old, you know, just catching up on my watch list and all that stuff, and that Chamba dude, I guess he was at PAX in Seattle, I believe, and he had just like uploaded 20 or 30 sketch cards that he did, and I don't know, I got super inspired. And I've been thinking about it more and more lately, man, and I don't know if part of the reason why I haven't been drawing as much. I mean, yeah, sure, my schedule's full and I got a lot going on right now, but I really just want to do pencils. I really just want to illustrate something and render it out with my pencil, not even color pencils, just my mechanical pencil. Just draw it out and then just leave it at that. You know? And then just move on, because right now I just feel like drawing a lot. Just want to draw. Like I'm enjoying the painting. It's cool. I like the way it's coming out. I'm not disappointed with this piece at all. You know, so far so good and all. And I know I gotta get it done in order to move on and be happy. That way I actually finish it and don't, you know, get mad at myself a few months down the line when I'm still staring at it unfinished, you know. So that's kind of the reason why I keep at this, is because I know I want to finish it. It's just not getting done fast enough, and much like a lot of the things I do, it's not getting done fast enough. This is going to be an interesting spot on the fish. I'm always wondering how am I going to render these things out. How's the video look? I wonder if I change my light around, does it make it better, worse? This is me pulling the light away, and this is me bringing the light closer. I don't know if it makes any difference to you guys. Let me know. But I don't know, I think the video's alright for now. This is going to be a tricky part to try to figure out. I mean, thank God this is only just like laying out cover for the red colors when I do actually finish coloring this fish in, but no reason why I shouldn't plan out how I'm actually going to fill this in. I mean, every time I'm painting or, coloring something in, I'm always trying to keep, especially since it's traditional and not like the digital stuff that most people do. You for the most part got a one shot to kind of get your lighting down. I mean, unless you're like a painter with like oils or acrylics where you can kind of go over something if you mess up enough times or whatever. But if not, kinda. And because this fish has a big all this head space is flat, that's why I kind of filled it in with those little blotches, just to kind of fill in that space. It's kind of like, how do I want to shade this thing? So I'm still shopping around at tattoo shops, trying to get an apprenticeship somewhere. Haven't really made any headway in that department lately. It's kind of a bummer. but then again, I got so much going on. Part of the reason why I'm painting. I figured painting will help me get better. Get better at shading people, fading colors, blending colors in and out whenever I get to the actual tattoo medium. I don't know nothing, so I may be completely wrong and thinking that this may actually be helping me, but even if it isn't, it's helping me become a better painter, a better watercolor painter. I think I'm probably a little more patient than I was before meeting a few months ago. I mean, I used to work really quick. And if anyone's wondering, like, what kind of paints I'm using, like what brand or anything like that, I know when I'm getting into my inks and brushes, I have a favorite brand that I get into. I shout them out every time I use them. I use the Faber-Castell brushes. I'm not using them yet on this picture, so haven't really brought them up lately, but you know, you may notice like, oh, he doesn't really talk about what brand he's using or something like that. It's because I don't even know what the brand is. I got these watercolor paints at the dollar store. I mean, I was just, you know, you go in there to check out for like party supplies or something, and I saw watercolors and I was like, $1? Hell, man, I'll pick a watercoloring for $1, you know. You sit there and you can buy kits for like $100 and get like a gajillion colors and the finest brushes. I actually hear the brushes are important when it comes to painting. You know, when you're using, like, I don't know the difference between a good brush and a bad brush. I've had a teacher explain it to me once or twice, but I wasn't interested in painting back then, so sorry, Mr. Tepper, didn't pick it up. I do remember that there was an explanation on, you know, certain brushes are better than other ones, and it's kind of important to get a good brush. That way, I don't know, like, I guess these crappy brushes, kind of like the ones I have that I'm working with, they kind of fall apart. Some of the hairs will come loose or break off of the shaft or whatever part's holding them, whatever you call that. But I don't know. I mean, you could go ahead and buy yourself the most expensive brushes and things like that and be like, oh, I'm a painter now. But I guess there's like a lot of care involved in the brushes. Like, you gotta take care of those things, actually, you know, like how you do laundry for clothes. You take care of your clothing. Well, some of you probably don't, but you know what I mean. Even the most expensive brushes or the cheapest ones, you gotta take care of them. And I guess it's just when you take care of them that you get the most out of them, and that's probably when the price comes, you know, into play, and brand and all that stuff. So for me, I don't even know where I got these brushes. they're all chipped up. Like this one, you can see it's like a wood color handle. I think it used to be black. I think it all just chipped off. So whatever sort of cheap ass brush does that, that's what I'm working with right now. And yeah, the hairs have been coming off of it bit by bit sometimes. And I don't take care of them. That's that's probably part of the reason why, you know, I don't mind that I don't have these super expensive brushes. I'm guessing the more I get into painting and watercoloring, I'll end up, like, you know, doing a little research or asking the guy at the counter at the art store a question, or maybe I'll hit up one of my teachers online if I see them with like a really dope painting, and I'll be like, yo man, what's up with these brushes? But at the moment, nah, I don't feel like it's necessary too much. So far I'm only using watercolors for base work in my pictures. I actually kind of regret not using watercolor in some past pieces that ended up looking a little harsh. I'm kind of noticing that I can use this watercolor to make really good backgrounds, because it's so soft, and as long as I'm, you know, good with the controlled with my inks and don't go crazy and start inking in everything off rip when I start to ink these pieces, there could be a real value in keeping the backgrounds really soft in color and not really hitting it with the black ink, the black outliners so much, and just leaving them like this wash, you know, this faded color in the background, and then when I hit the things in the foreground, you know, with the inks and the blacks and the heavy colors and everything like that, it'll really make that pop and that differentiation. Because right now, what I'm talking about on my TMNT pictures that I did, I mean, if I kind of look at them and I'm like, man, the background kind of blends in with the foreground. You know, the only way I think I could fix it now is, you know, there's like one thing that I think I can do to kind of fix that issue, but I don't know. Now these banners or these ribbons, I plan on leaving this golden color. Figure it's light, and you know, supposed to be papers on the lighter side. I could have left it like gray or even like a light tint of blue, but I don't know if I'm gonna have a lot of yellow in this picture, and I kinda like to stick to the primary colors for the most part, especially with this American theme, even though it's a Japanese style in some areas. It's an American theme, and I would like to stick with the primary colors, red, yellow, blue. And I already know that the anchor is going to be blue, and fish is going to be red. So that's going to be like two big prominent objects that are already colored and things like that. And I was like, well, I could definitely use the yellow to accent. Hit it with highlights, and then just cover whatever else up with the yellow. Oh man, this is too saturated up here. Blast it with some water. So yeah, that's why I went with the yellow banner. I don't think it was a bad call. I'm not regretting it yet, so. I may have put it on a little too hard on this banner though. Or at least the orange, I mean. But whatever, I'll figure it out. Oh yeah, so I actually need to go check out Crunchyroll. I watch only a couple things on Crunchyroll. I got so far it's only the latest episodes of Naruto Shippuden, and I'm watching this new series. I think, what's it called? God Eater? God Killer? Something like that. It's about, I don't even know what it's about really. It's only like 3 episodes in, and I haven't checked out the 3rd episode. 4th episode might actually be dropping, if I'm not mistaken. So I actually have 2 episodes that I need to catch myself up on. But essentially, I don't know, it's about this character dude who wants to join this sort of military force, or this special ops team that goes around killing these monsters that I don't know where they come from yet. They haven't really talked about it in depth. It's gonna be one of those slow reveals, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm guessing that these monsters killed his family, and now he's plotting revenge, so he went and joined this team, start killing monsters, and you know, it kind of goes off from there. And it's pretty dope. I would definitely recommend it. I think it's called God Eater. Yeah, so between that and Naruto, those are really the only animes I'm watching, I think. I mean, I haven't really watched anything since Space Dandy. I'm trying to think. What else have... I mean, I try watching all sorts of animes, just a lot of them don't hit the mark for me. Yeah, I'm a big fan of like the heavy hitters. I forget the guy's name. I believe his name's Shichigoro Watanabe. He created I believe that's the name of the guy who created like Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo, and then he did Space Dandy. I'm gonna love anything that guy does. Whatever he decides to do, I'm down with it. I've already colored this part in. The Adult Swim has Michigo the Hatchin' playing, and I've been wanting to watch it just because it's in English, because I've only seen the Japanese version, but I watched it like years ago, so I kind of already seen it. I know where it's going, and I missed like I don't even know if they played the whole thing out or not on but since I watched it so long ago, it's kind of hard to kind of keep up, or not keep up, but like, you know, I still don't want to just jump in halfway through the story, especially if it's going to be in English this time. You know, I just got to buy the box set off Amazon or something, and that way I can watch it. I'm one of those guys. I buy the box sets, that way I can keep them forever and ever and watch them whenever I want. Like, I got, you know, of course, Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo on there. I got Avatar box set, not the Last Airbender series. I got all 4. Is it 4 seasons or 3 seasons? I think it's only 3. But yeah, I got all of them. Just cause, especially the 3rd season, man, that animation got nuts. Then of course the Legend of Korra series came out, and the animation got better. I think I learned about it through LaShawn Thompson, or Thomas, whatever his name is. Sorry. Again, I'm terrible with names. Be apologizing for that forever. But I'm sure most of you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think that's it for now. Let's see, I'm a half hour in. I got an hour before I gotta get off. So, how about I dip into these reds and start adding the other layer to this koi. I think it's dried up for the most part. I'm actually kind of curious what's going to happen when I add this red. This paper's already absorbed so much water, you know. I don't want to start damaging it. That's what I missed tonight. It was Ink Master. Crap. Yeah, I missed it by like 2 hours. I wonder if they're playing the rerun, actually. No. Tattoo Nightmares. Not that it's bad. Just Ink Master's good this season, man. I'm rooting for that Tyler guy, since he's the only one I know. I've met him. He tattooed me. Did the one on my hand. Yeah, I'm adding this red. It's really just looking like a dark orange, which I'm not mad at. It's just weird. You know, you pick up a red paint, it's clearly red, but then when you go to use it, it's like coming out with this orange glazed look to it. It's probably just the underlay color that I've used thus far. I don't know why, man. I have had frickin' that Usher song stuck in my head all day. The old classic. You Make Me Wanna, I believe that's the title of the song. I do not know why, but that song is not getting out of my head today. I have not had a car, so I have not been listening to the radio. I do not know why that song is playing in there. It's not a bad song, but it's literally been there since I left work. Just popping in and out. And it keeps popping back in my head while I paint this, man. What's going on here? Whew. Yeah, this red's definitely, yeah, you can see the difference from this bottom part of the tail to the top up here between the two colors. So yeah, the red's doing its work. Oh shit. No! Say it ain't so. I got a crease in the paper. Exactly what I was worried about. It's alright. Maybe if I add some water to it, it'll soften up the paper. Right there. Oh well, time to move on. Move on to another part. Yeah, see, now it's starting to look less like a goldfish. Good. Getting kind of worried there for a second. It's amazing what color does. What color kind of tells your mind. Could have just made it a big ass goldfish, I suppose. Oh yeah, and I got plenty of red. Plenty of things to color red at least. Like I forgot well, I didn't forget, but I probably don't wanna not do it while I have the red. Now this anchor, I'm gonna go directly red onto the white paper, because unlike the fish, I actually wanted to have that sort of quality to it. That way even the reds won't be the same all across the board. At least the red on the anchor is going to represent a different color than the red on the fish. That way it doesn't look like I'm just coloring with Crayola colors, and give this piece a little bit more life to it. I feel like this red looks a little more American too. How about that? Yeah, I'm liking this. That's all I needed. A little bit of red to perk up my day. Who knew? Sir. Get some more water. Brush this color out. Yeah, I just didn't want to move too far up the image without and then having to go back and paint this part. I kind of like to work from bottom left to upper right. So before I get too far up the fish with the red, I might as well get this part colored in. Yeah, see now you could see the difference between the red I've used at the bottom of this tail and the red that's going on this anchor. That's the difference in the color that I'm talking about. Because even though these are dollar store, you know, base colors, you could still play with them and get yourself a decent outcome. And this is just stuff that I learned from using color pencils. I mean, yeah, there's like color theory class and all that stuff that I learned it from, but I never painted before, really. I mean, I did it for school assignments, but I never painted like for myself. So just the little tricks that I learned from color pencils, that's all I'm doing here. I'm just doing it with these watercolors instead. And loving these results. I'm loving it. Man, I wish I could just wake up and do this, do it all day, stream all day, you know. Not that I hate my job, but at some point you gotta stop working for someone else and you gotta start working for yourself. Maybe that's not everyone's goal. Maybe some people are fine just working for a company, but someone like myself, I have too many ideas, man. Too many goals and I'm already 26, turning 27 this year. Like, I can't be messing around for too long, man. 30's right around the corner. If I can't do my own thing by the time I'm 35, and I don't mean like be a gajillionaire and super successful, but at least doing my own thing by the time I'm like 35, man, it's gonna be a dark day, man. Little work. I'm trying to get better at this watercolor thing, trying to gradate my colors a little bit more. Kinda got it. Kinda. Good thing it's only base. But yeah, I think these red accents on this anchor are really gonna make the piece pop. You know, it's almost like the centerpiece of it. It's a search and rescue piece. So obviously the anchor's pretty important to the Navy search and rescue. So of course, even though this fish is bombastic, the goal is to I wouldn't say the goal, but I wouldn't mind it if the anchor kind of got your attention, even with this fantastic fish flying through the piece. And yes, I am definitely going to paint every individual scale. And then when I marker it or ink it, I'm going to have to do every individual scale. And when I use the color pencils, I'm going to color pencil each individual scale. It's just the way it is. That's the way it's going to be. Wow, man, this red carries a lot of pigment in it, man. I'm getting a lot of life out of a single dip. Am I at 50 minutes? So I've been using the red for 20 minutes. So all the red in this image has been done in the past 20 minutes. It's not bad. Scales are definitely starting to pop a little bit. And this is still just the base colors, y'all. This ain't even like me trying to finish up this piece. I'm like still only in like phase 2 or something like that. So how ridiculous is that? Just to give you a little heads up on what's this piece is gonna be like when I'm done with it. I'm not even close to done with it. And these scales are starting to come to life. What I'm talking about. I'm really getting into it right now. You could always tell when I'm really getting into a piece when I stop talking. So I'm just really enjoying myself. Like if I wasn't recording this right now, that's like me in my element. I just shut the fuck up and draw or paint, do whatever the hell I'm doing. That's what I'm talking about. All I'm thinking about is Michigo to hatching. I don't know if I ever got to the point of what I was trying to get at when I brought it up. But that was one I saw a long time ago, like years ago. Maybe even before I moved out here, but I don't know. And I always wondered why it wasn't popular. Like I never heard anyone talking about it, and I always wanted to do fan art on it, but just like everything else, it kind of just got stuck in the back burner, and never got around to it. And I'm not gonna sit here and preach about it being the best anime, but I definitely watched it because I remember looking up after Samurai Champloo had ended. It might have been like a couple years after Samurai Champloo ended, And I remember just like, man, what's that guy up to? I believe his name is Shichigoro Watanabe. And like, what's that guy up to? So I look him up, and I did some research, and I found out that, like, I guess in the animation world in Japan, the way that they, and I don't know, I could be making this up, I might have misread it, maybe it's not always like this, but I guess the way that they run studios out there is pretty dope. They have a team of people, you know, let's just say 20 people, who actually knows how, it could be hundreds, and you know, you got your head people, and then you got people who just kind of do like the grunt work type stuff. But everyone gets a turn, and I'm not sure if it's like 100% everyone. Maybe not everyone has an idea, but like everyone gets a turn, and they take it one by one, from what I understand. So it's not like, I want to say like it is out here, where, you know, one guy, like one director will work, or one producer will work on a single project start to finish, and then after he finishes it, you know, kind of get started on another project where he's directing or producing again, doing the same thing he did on the last picture. What they'll do is they'll like kind of trade off positions, where, and again, I don't know if this is 100% accurate, it's just kind of like what I got away from reading, and I'm not exactly the best reader. But what they'll do is they'll switch positions. So let's say someone who was, you know, the lead storyboard artist for Cowboy Bebop, you know, let's say he was the next in line to become the director if he had a project to pitch, you know, and got accepted by, you know, whatever, and everyone agreed, like, alright, yeah, let's work on that, that's a dope idea. And then the guy who was just doing the storyboards for one show, the next show that that whole studio is doing is going to be his creation, his production, or his whatever. And I was like, that's cool. That also kind of explains why it takes like a few years between getting something done, from having something done to getting something else done, project wise, for these Japanese animators, directors, producers, and all that other stuff. It's because now the guy who just directed one, now he's going to be like, you know, the storyboard artist, or the key animator, or whatever, and they just keep on trading off positions, you know, over and over and over. Just whoever has the bomb idea, whoever's ready to release a project to the public and have, you know, the studio work on it or whatever, like, hey, let's give it a shot, let's go with it. And, you know, to me, it seems pretty dope, because you're getting that experience with different positions and everything. You're not just the boss every day for the rest of your life, or for 10 years, you know, you're the director for 2 years, or you're the lead concept artist for 2 years, or 3 years, you know, you're an animator for 3 years, and who knows, you animate one cartoon, then you'll be an animator on the next one, but, you know, maybe your name bumps up on the list to get a job, you know, to get your idea out next, you know, maybe you don't have as much seniority over someone. I mean, I don't know how it works, but I often thought about that when I learned about it, and from what I'm getting at was the whole Michigo to Hatchin thing. I was looking up what was Shichiguro, I'm forgetting his name, the Watanabe guy, like what was he up to, and then I saw he was working on this Michigo to Hatchin project, but he was like he wasn't the creator or the director or whatever it is like he was for Cowboy Bebop or Samurai Champloo. He was just like, I don't know, you look up his credits, he was just like a position that wasn't anything like that. And I was like, what the hell? And that's when I kind of read, like, oh yeah, they kind of trade off positions every project, you know, and everyone kind of gets a turn. And I was like, alright, that's cool. It kind of bums me out that he doesn't just constantly churn out genius. But then maybe by switching positions, he gets the time, his off time from working on the projects on his co-workers, or yeah, his co-workers' projects. On his off time, he gets to amp up his ideas, and it gives him, you know, 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5, 6 years, who knows how long, to sit there and really hone his idea down. And it's like, man, maybe, I mean, genius is genius through and through, but maybe that's the reason why, like, his shows are always so great and spectacular. I don't know, I just really like that idea. Everyone gets a turn. You know, it's like having Michael Bay be a director and then having Michael Bay be your camera guy, you know, on the next project. That way you're not always just working under him while he's just always directing, you know. Yeah, this ain't coming out bad at all, man. I'm really digging it, and I haven't even added the blues yet. Blues really just gonna be for the anchor, and then I might just like kind of cast it in the background. I still am kind of on the fence on what I'm gonna do for this rope. Still don't know what color I'm doing for the rope, and I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do for the lettering. The lettering I might just do red, but I am not sure. Like I said, I just kind of go along with it. I kind of have ideas. I know what colors I want to use. I just may not exactly know where I want to apply them. Ooh. Kind of like this technique I've picked up. I wouldn't call it a technique per se, maybe, but when the paintbrush is heavy with the water and the paint, I kind of like just give it these drops. Like I kind of just dab the paper down, or dab the brush down. And I know that that water droplet is just going to sit there and soak in the paper slowly while I sit there and dab all the rest of them, and then I come back after, you know, I'm all out of water droplets to dab onto the paper, and I just go back over it with the wet brush, so the brush is still wet enough to spread the paint, and it lets me just cover an area, and lets me, yeah, I'm really digging it. It's not bad, man. What am I, 45 minutes with the red paint? And all I got left is this fish's head. And then I get to jump on the blues. Or maybe I'll just call it quits, because I know I won't be able to finish the blues. Maybe I'll do that for tomorrow. You never know what's gonna happen. Still at a loss at what I'm gonna do with how to exactly shade this fish's head in. Let me see. Try to look at my references here. Yes, I'm using references. You should always use them. If you don't know what you're doing, don't be ashamed to use a reference. You can use lighting reference, you can use color reference. Yeah, it seems like I had the right idea. Just this big old blockhead on this fish, you know. Like in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I gotta put in details or texture or something, and I'm like, well, at the other part of me is like, well, it's a fish, it's just smooth. You know, if I had any ideas for texture right now. Trust me, I'll be all over it. But I think maybe just doing a flat base over most of it will kind of get the point across. Kind of seen an opportunity with this skull here to darken up this area with. Ooh, excuse me. There we go. Kind of wanna there's my center scale. I want to take the center scale and then kind of give the head a divot. It's kind of what I've been looking for. Right. Not bad, you guys. I really like the difference in the red on the fish and the red on that anchor. That's, I don't know if that could have came out any better, really. Sure, if I was a better painter, I probably would have. That's not what I'm talking about. Just talking about color layout and stuff. Don't want to forget the fin. Woo! Alright. I think that'll be enough for now. What is this, hour 12 minutes so far? So I'll do an hour 15-minute video. Just yeah, let me see if I can pull this up close. There's the bottom. The ribbon was strictly yellow earlier, and then I made the last minute effort to throw a little bit of orange in the shadowy areas, give it a little more rustic color. See the difference in the red used when you use it straight up against a white sheet of paper and when you actually lay down some colors underneath it. The warm colors that I use, the yellow and orange underneath the red on the fish, really makes it stand out, and a little bit more ribbon action. I'm digging it. Now all I gotta do is pray I don't screw it up when I start to apply the blue tomorrow. Yeah, man, this is GMrDrew doing some watercolor action. Thanks for watching. Good night.